In the name of God, and the singular, the most merciful God, the bestower of mercy. Aleph Lam Mim Ra Tilka Ayatul Kitab Waladhi Unzila Alayka min Rabbikal Haqqa Walakina Akthar an-nas la yu'minun. A-L-M-R. These are the signs of the book. And that which hath been sent down unto thee from thy Lord is the truth, but the greater part of men will not believe. 10:1 head, 11:1 right shoulder, 12:1 left shoulder, 13:1 right elbow, 14:1 left elbow, 15:1 pelvis, 27:1 right hand, 38:1 left hand, knees 51, feet 68:1. You will see that these verses that continue past the abbreviated letters or separated letters or whatever you call them, with other words in that same verse, follow the same format as the Kabbalistic tree of life. Half a millennia before it appeared in Jewish writings. God, who hath raised the heavens without visible pillars. Well, without any pillars is what most render it as. And then ascended his throne. Astawa ala l'arsh is something that is commonly misunderstood because of the presence of Jewish and Christian understanding, which labels the whole thing as like God on a throne, like a human being on a throne. And we know already from what I've posted from the Koran that that is not what's being said, both in terms of the comparison to creation in terms of limitation refutes other verses in Quran, and that doesn't make sense to do that arbitrarily. And also this archaic translation of the throne, well, it's a holy throne, more holy than the footstool. And the footstool is bigger than the heavens and the earth, and the lowest of these 7 heavens is the one with the stars. So it's clearly talking about something far, far transcendent to situate this throne. And compelled the sun and the moon to perform their services. Every heavenly body runneth an appointed course. He ordereth all things. He showeth his signs distinctly, that ye may be assured ye must meet your Lord. He who hath stretched forth the earth, and placed therein steadfast mountains and rivers, and hath ordained therein of every fruit 2 kinds. He causeth the night to cover the day. Herein are certain signs in the people who consider. And in the earth are tracts bordering on each other, and also vineyards, and seeds, and palm trees, springing several from the same root, and singly from distinct roots. They are watered with the same water, yet we render some of them more excellent than others to eat. Herein are surely signs in the people who understand. If thou dost wonder, surely wonderful is their saying, after we shall have been to dust, shall we be restored in a new creation? These shall have collars on their neck, and these shall be the inhabitants of hell. Therein they shall abide forever. They will act of thee to hasten evil rather than good, although there have already been examples of the divine vengeance before them. Thy Lord is surely endued with indulgence towards men, notwithstanding their iniquity. But thy Lord is also severe in punishing. The infidels say, unless a sign be sent down unto him from his Lord. Thou art commissioned to be a preacher only, and not a worker of miracles. SubhanAllah, it does not say anything about he's not commissioned to be a worker of miracles. It's trying to pretend. George Sale has inserted a lie here, just like he tries to make all the verses about Arabs and Meccans and such as much as possible. There is nothing in the Quran that says Muhammad's not a worker of miracles. As much as the greatest miracles of the Quran, there's far more miracles attributed to Muhammad than Jesus, in terms of more reliable narrations where you have who said it, who they got it from, stuff more about the situation. There's a lot more detail about any of these 300 or so miracles than what's said. Thou art commissioned to be a preacher only, and unto every people a director hath been appointed. God knoweth what every female beareth in her wombs, and what the wombs want or exceed. With him is everything regulated according to a determined measure. He knoweth that which is hidden, and that which is revealed. He is the great, the most high. He among you who concealeth his words, and he who proclaimeth them in public, he also who seeketh to hide himself in the night, and he who goeth forth openly in the day, is equal in respect to knowledge of God. Well, God knows. Each of them hath mutually exceeding each other before him and behind him. They watch him by the command of God. Verily, God will not change his grace. Verily, God will not change what is in men until they change in their souls. When God willeth evil upon a people, when God willeth the people's punishment, there shall be none to avert it, neither shall they have any protector besides him. And verse 11 there indicates something extremely important, that we have to make the effort ourselves too. We just don't merely pray, we make what effort we can make. It is he who causeth the lightning to appear unto you, and strike fear, and raise hope, and who formeth the pregnant clouds. The thunder celebrateth his praise, and the angels for fear of him. He sendeth his thunderbolts, and striketh therewith whom he pleaseth, and they dispute concerning God, for he is mighty in power. It is he who have right to be invoked, and they who invoke besides him shall not hear them at all, otherwise than as he is heard, who stretcheth forth his hands to the water, that it may ascend to his mouth, wherein he cannot ascend. The supplication of the unbelievers is utterly erroneous, and the following is the 15th verse of Surah 13, which is as water of fire. And if you follow these verses in order, from fire and fire of earth to air of earth, being the last one in Quran, these prostration verses, you have sort of a summer solstice starting theme of these verses in the alchemical quadrant, the 16 quadrants in order: fire, water, air, earth, fire, water, air, earth, fire. Of fire, of water, of air, of earth, whatsoever is in heaven and on earth worshipeth God. voluntarily are of force, and their shadows also in morning and evening. Walillahi yasjudu man fis samawati wal ardi tawan berkarhan walalum gundu walasal. And upon the 7 points of prostration, facing Mecca, of course. So this is another thing where the Quran only claim falls apart, is where do they get the tradition that you prostrate after these verses? If not, that this was done by the Prophet and those who follow, and recommended upon those who followed him by word and example. And even people who disbelieved were so impressed by these verses that they did so. Answer God, say, have ye therefore taken protectors besides him who are unable to either help or defend themselves from hurt? Say, shall the blind and the seeing be esteemed equal? Or shall darkness and light be accounted the same? Or have they attributed companions unto God, who hath created as he hath created, so that their creation beareth any resemblance unto his? Say, God is the creator of all things. He is the one, the victorious God. He causeth water to descend from heaven, and the brooks flow according to their measure, and the floods bear the floating froth, and from which they melt in the fire, seeking to cast ornaments or vessels, a scum like unto it. Thus God setteth forth true and vanity. But the scum is thrown off, and that which is useful to mankind remaineth on the earth. Thus doth God put forth parables, and unto those who obey their Lord, the most excellent. But those who obey him not, although they were possessed of whatever is in the whole earth, and as much more they would give it for the ransom, these will be brought to a terrible account. Their abode, hell, an unhappy couch. Shall he therefore, who knoweth what hath been sent down unto thee from thy Lord is truth, be as he who is blind? The prudent only will consider, who fulfill the covenant of God, and break not their contract, and who join that which God hath commanded to be joined, and who fear their Lord, and dread an ill account, and who persevere out of a sincere desire to please their Lord, and observe the stated times of prayer, and give alms out of what we have bestowed on them in secret and openly, and turn away with evil with good. The reward of these, paradise, gardens of eternal abode, which they shall enter, and whoever shall have acted uprightly, and of their fathers, and of their wives, and their posterity, and the angels shall go in unto them by every gate. Peace be upon you, because ye have endured with patience. How excellent a reward is paradise! But as for those who violate the covenant of God after the establishment thereof, and who cut in asunder that which God hath commanded to be joined, and act corruptly in the earth, and on them shall a curse fall, and they shall have a miserable dwelling. God giveth provision in abundance unto whom he pleaseth, and is sparing. Rejoice. Those rejoice in the present life, although the present life in respect to the future is but a provision. The infidels say, the Quran doesn't say infidels or Palestinian or Gentile or heathen or pagan or any of those words. Misbeliever, misassociator, those are things. Unless a sign be sent down unto him from his Lord, Answer, verily God will lead into error whom he pleaseth, and will direct unto himself who repenteth. And those who believe, and whose hearts rest securely in the meditation of God, shall not hearts rest securely in the meditation of God? And some people think that this is a good station and a satisfactory station, that the heart, and then there's the soul, and then there's the spirit, and okay, they're not all one, but some use that to label their station. Hearts rest securely in the meditation of God. They who believe and do that which is right, blessedness, and a happy resurrection. So let's not go too far with this Hindu concept of awagawan, the going in and out. Thus have we sent thee to a nation, which nations have preceded, that thou mayest rehearse unto them that which we have revealed unto thee, even while they believe not in the merciful God. Say unto them, He is my Lord, there is no God but He, in Him do I trust, and unto Him must I return. Though a Koran by which the mountains should be removed, or the earth would be cleft in sunder, or the dead be caused to speak, it would be the same to them. But the matter belongeth wholly unto God. Do not, therefore, the believers know that if God pleased, He would certainly direct all men. Adversity shall not cease to afflict the unbelievers for that which they have committed, or to sit down near their habitations until God's promise come. For God is not contrary to the promise. Apostles before thee have been laughed to scorn, and I permitted the infidels to enjoy a long and happy life, but afterwards I punished them. Now, there was just I afflicted on them. And who is it, therefore, that standeth over every soul, that which it committeth? They attribute companions unto God. Say, name them. Will ye declare unto him that which he knoweth not in the earth, or in outward speech only? But the deceitful procedure of the infidels was prepared for them, and they are turned aside from the path. For he whom God shall cause to err shall have no director. They shall suffer a punishment in this life, but the punishment of the next shall be more grievous, and there shall be none to protect them against God. This is the description of paradise, which is promised to the pious. It is watered by rivers. Its food is perpetual, and its shade. There shall be the reward of those who fear. But the reward of the infidels shall be fire. Those to whom we have given the Scriptures rejoice at what hath been revealed unto thee. Yet are some of the confederates who deny part thereof. Say, verily I am commanded to worship God alone, and to give him no companion. Upon him do I call, and unto him shall I return. To this purpose we have sent down a rule of judgment in the Arabic language. Nowhere in the Quran does it say that Arabic is a superior language. This is just the language that was going to survive, and the text that was going to survive with it, to the point where it could be understood and followed by the remainder of humanity. And verily, If thou follow their desires after the knowledge which have been given thee, there shall be none to defend or protect thee against God. We have formerly sent down apostles before thee, and bestowed on them wives and children, and no apostle had come with a sign, unless by permission of God. Every age hath its book. God shall abolish, and God shall confirm. With him is the original of the book. In every scripture, not the edited scriptures of man, the original scripture in its original language. You know, the Bible's in 4 different languages, right? I mean, the original of the Bible, the different periods of the Aramaic and the Persian only words that have been grafted into that language, those 3 different periods, and then there's the Greek. And moreover, where we cause thee to see any part of that wherewith we have threatened them, or whether we cause thee to die, verily unto thee belongeth preaching only, but unto us inquisition. Do they not see that we come into their land and straiten the borders thereof? When God judgeth, there is none to reverse his judgment, and he will be swift in taking an account. Their predecessors formerly devised subtle plots, but God is master over every subtle device. And those who don't understand, for example, you also have the different periods of the Hindu languages, even within one text, as many as 40,000 years before some of these things were written down after they were possibly initially said. The Avesta has 2 different periods, and then you have the Pahlavi text and the Persian text, and another language or 2, I think, or more. God is master of every subtle device. He knoweth that which every soul deserveth, and the infidel shall surely know whose will be the reward of paradise. The unbelievers will say, Thou art not sent. Answer, God is the sufficient witness between me and you, and he who understandeth the scriptures. And one of the important things we have here, above me is the horizontal text of Quran, and was scripted in the living room, another one. We have the reference to signs. Not really stories of prophets or that sort of stuff, but a bunch of signs in the world to think over and turn to God because of them.